Hello friends, welcome to today's morning energizing yoga flow. This class is going to bring you clarity and peace of mind as you flow throughout the course of this series and this day. When you're ready, find yourself a comfortable seated position, perhaps crossing the legs, maybe closing the eyes, tuning into the rhythm of the breath. Maybe setting an intention for today's practice, something that you would like to embody both on and off the mat. Letting go of any expectations, simply arriving in this moment as you are. Okay, let us begin practice with a seated twist. Inhale, extend the arms overhead, join the palms together. Exhale, rotate the torso to the left, placing the outer edge of the right hand against the left thigh. Maybe tenting up onto the left fingertips, gazing behind the left shoulder. One more breath. Exhale, return to center, and we'll swap the cross of our legs and take it on the other side. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the right, finding length through the crown of the head, twisting a little more with every exhalation, and gently returning to center. From here, we'll stand up, turning to face the short edge of the mat, coming into Tadasana, feet a hip width distance apart, roll the shoulders back, and on your inhale, we'll extend our arms overhead. Exhale, lower the hands to heart center. Lift the arms up, and we'll take a side body stretch. Interlacing your right fingers around your left wrist, leaning over to the right. Being mindful to keep the hips squared. I'm really feeling a lovely stretch along the left side body. And we'll take it on the other side. Stretching to the right, keeping the core engaged. And once more, going over to the right, matching inhalations with exhalations. And over to the left. Back to center, float the arms down by your side. Inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva, straight legs, straight back. Exhale, fold. Once more, finding your rhythm. And from here, we'll take a twist, grounding the right palm down as we extend our left arm skywards, rotating the torso to the left, bending the right knee, extending the left leg. Feeling a lovely stretch along the outer hips, the IT band. Exhale, lower the left arm under the left shoulder. And we'll take the twist on the right side, extending the right arm overhead, finding length through the fingertips, broadening across the heart space. Exhale, gently release, lowering the right palm down underneath the right shoulder, and once more taking the twist on either side, leaning into what feels good for you. This is a great posture for any runners, anyone who enjoys hiking, walking, or who spends a large portion of the day sitting down. It's a really great way to loosen up the hips and release any stored tension or emotions that might be stagnating in that region. When you're ready, finding your way back to center, And from here, we will step both of our feet back as we come into plank pose, Phalakasana. Wrists are underneath shoulders, staying high on the balls of the feet. Core is engaged, navel is drawn towards the spine, quadriceps are firing. From here, we're going to transition into single leg plank lifts. Grounding down through the right leg, we'll float our left leg up, squeezing the gluteus maximus at the top, pointing the toes, feeling yourself growing taller through that leg. Hips are staying squared. Using the hamstrings, the calf muscle. 2 more single leg plank lifts. And from here, we'll keep our leg raised, lower down into a 3-legged Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Raising the hips, drawing the navel towards the spine, finding length along the back. Arms are engaged. You might like to pedal out the legs once or twice, finding whatever adjustments suit your body today. 1 more breath. And we'll begin to walk our feet towards the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. You might like to take ragdoll, interlacing either hand around opposite elbow, shifting your weight into the heels, resting the belly and the chest on the thighs. 1 more breath. Inhale, plant the palms down, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Twice more. And when you're ready, we'll step back into plank pose, finding our activation, maintaining that mind, body, breath awareness. And we'll get set up to take our single leg plank lifts on the right side. 2 more slow and gradual breaths in this posture. On your next inhale, ground down through the left leg, point the right toes and begin to lift that leg up. Single leg lifts, squeezing the glutes, activating the hamstrings, the quads, keeping that core engaged, using the fingers, the palms, the knuckles for support, and lowering down into Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, push back into downward dog. 3 breaths here. Letting go of any tension. On your next inhale, we're going to lift our right leg up, coming into 3-legged dog, externally rotating the hip, flexing the knee, drawing the heel towards the glutes. Re-extend the leg, and from here we'll shift our weight forward, flexing the knee, drawing the knee towards the chest, coming into a tiger curl. Re-extend the leg, 3-legged dog. Once more, re-extend. Exhale, come into a tiger curl. Inhale, 3-legged dog, Ikapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. On your next exhale, we'll come into a tiger curl, drawing our right knee towards our left elbow, lower the knee towards the left wrist, come across to the right wrist, right elbow, and again, finding that box movement. Elbow to wrist, wrist to elbow. 3 rounds. And press back into 3-legged dog. From here, we'll shift our weight forwards once more, drawing the knee to the chest, this time with control, guiding the right sole between the 2 palms, pivoting on the back foot as we come up into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Doing your best to square the hips to the front of the mat. Arms are extended. You might like to join the palms together, gaze up. Maybe finding Kali Mudra, interlacing all fingers except for the index and thumbs. 1 breath here, and we'll cactus the arms out wide, finding a lovely heart opener, a slight back bend. Frame the front foot, lower the palms down, step back into plank pose. Either taking a Chaturanga or meeting us in downward facing dog. Listening to what your body needs today. 3 breaths in downward facing dog. We'll get ready to take this flow on the other side. Inhale, float the left leg up, externally rotate the hip, flex the left knee, draw the heel towards the glute, 3-legged dog, keeping the shoulders squared. Inhale, re-extend the leg. And from here we'll come into a tiger curl. Exhale, drawing the knee to the chest, shifting the weight forward. Inhale, re-extend, 3-legged dog, using the arms for support, keeping that core engaged. Exhale, tiger curl. Inhale, extend, 3-legged dog. And again, coming into a tiger curl. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, tiger curl, and we'll take those box circuits again with the left knee, going from elbow to elbow, wrist to wrist, 3 rounds, keeping everything engaged. This is a wonderful way to strengthen and tone the core, the arms, softening the muscles of the face, and re-extending to 3-legged dog. From here we'll shift our weight forwards, coming into a tiger curl, and with control lowering that left foot down between the palms, coming into warrior 1, pivoting the back foot, finding a hand gesture of your choice, being mindful to lift up and out of the lower back. This is a safe practice. Mindfully guiding yourself to the breath, to this moment. And if you feel tension anywhere in the body, guide the breath there. Inhale, cactus the arms out wide, find a heart opener. Gaze up. And with control, we'll lower the arms down to frame the front foot, step back into plank pose, either taking a Chaturanga or meeting us in downward dog. Exhale, lower with control. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, raise the hips, curl the toes, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. Softening the face, the jaw, rolling the shoulders back. We'll come into 3-legged dog on the right side, curling the knee towards the chest and lowering the foot down as we come into warrior 2. Being mindful to keep the hips and the shoulders stacked. The back foot, the left foot, is relatively parallel with the short edges of the mat. Arms are extended long at shoulder height. From here we'll transition into extended side angle. You might choose to extend both arms, finding that core engagement, squeezing the inner and outer thighs, sinking those hips a little lower. 1 breath here. And transitioning into warrior 2, cartwheeling the arms forward, we'll frame the front foot, step back into plank pose, Chaturanga, or downward facing dog. Really feeling the articulation of each movement. 2 breaths in downward dog. And we'll get ready to go on the left side. Inhale, float the left leg up. Curl the knee to the chest. Gently place the left foot down with control. Pivot on the back foot, coming into Virabhadrasana 2. Arms are extended. Working on getting a 90-degree angle with that front leg and the surface beneath you. 2 breaths in warrior 2. Feeling the power generating within the lower body. Shoulders are rolled back and down. Letting go of any tension. And from here, we'll shift our weight forwards as we come into extended side angle. Maybe resting one elbow on the thigh, or you might like to extend both arms skywards. Keeping everything engaged. Slowing down the breath. Exhale, transition into Warrior Two. One breath here. And we'll cartwheel the arms forward to frame the front foot as we step back to Phalakasana. Taking a Chaturanga. Exhale, lower down, arms graze the side body. Inhale, push up into Upward Facing Dog, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Exhale, push back into Downward Dog. From here, we'll walk our heels and toes to the top of the mat, coming into a fold. If your legs are feeling more opened, you might like to place your palms underneath your feet, extending the legs. Really allowing yourself to find length through the lower back. Maybe guiding the chest towards the tops of the thighs. When you're ready, bending the knees, and we'll slowly roll up to Tadasana. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, float them down by your side. Turning to face the long edge of our mat, we will get set up for a goddess pose, Utthita Konasana. Heels in, toes out. We have a wide stance. And on our inhale, we'll sink our hips back, lowering the glutes, being mindful to keep the knees in line with the ankles. Extending the arms overhead, and you might like to lower them to heart center in Namaskar Mudra. Seeing if you can sink the hips back a little more. Being mindful to tuck the pelvis so that we're not overcompensating into the lower back. The core is engaged. Shoulders are rolled back and down away from the ears. And we'll stay down and pulse. Small pulses. Ever so slightly lifting the hips up and down. Working on pushing the knees away from the midline. Using the outer hips, the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes. This is a powerful posture to tone, strengthen, and energize the lower body. A few more pulses. Soften the muscles of the face. And maybe find a soft smile, allowing you to decontract the jaw. A few more, and we'll stay down and hold. Sink those hips a little lower. One more breath. And gently extend the legs. Well done. We'll heel toe the feet in slightly. This time toes are pointed in. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. And we'll find a forward fold. Lowering the palms to the mat. Allowing your torso to hang heavy. Relaxing the neck. Depending on your mobility and flexibility, you might like to walk the feet out slightly further or heel toe them together. It's up to you. From here, we're going to take triangle pose. So rotating the right foot out to face the short edge of the mat. Inhale, extend the left arm up, rotate the chest to the left, extending both legs. This is a wonderful way to stretch into the QL region, the abdominals, the outer hips. One more breath. Gently lowering down, pivoting the right foot in, and we'll turn the left foot out as we take Trikonasana on the left side. Placing the left palm underneath the left shoulder. Extend the right arm overhead, shoulders are stacked, chest is rotated to the right, core is engaged, legs are extended. Finding a lovely stretch. Breathe. Beginning to work your way back to center, coming into a forward fold, And if you'd like to stretch the upper back, the shoulders, you might like to interlace your fingers behind your back. Extend the arms towards the earth. 2 breaths here. If you were in the bind, beginning to gently release the palms, lowering them down to the mat, and we'll bend the knees and roll up. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the palms down by your side. Again, we'll turn to face the short edge of the mat, coming into Tadasana. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, we'll lower down into Garland's pose, Malasana. Heels in, toes out. Maybe joining the palms together at heart center, using the triceps to press into the inner thighs. Finding length along the back of the spine. A slight tuck of the chin. Breathe. From here, we'll lower down onto the sits bones, using your palms for support, and we'll come into Navasana, boat pose. Raising the shins, keeping the toes pointed, extending the arms out in front, palms facing towards one another, keeping the core engaged, broadening across the heart space, lifting up through the crown of the head. Gradual inhalations and exhalations. Breathing through any tension, staying strong, staying focused. Two more breaths. And gently lower the legs down. Well done. From here, we are going to come into a reverse plank. Fingertips are facing forwards, underneath the shoulders. We're going to raise our hips, lifting the pelvis up. Knees are in line with the ankles. We're going to lower down, lower and lift. Single movements. And this is really coming from the pelvis. So we're keeping the arms engaged. This isn't a tricep dip. Squeezing the glutes, the inner thighs at the top and lowering down. You might like to raise your toes off the mat. Keep that heart space opened. We'll stay up and pulse. Small movements. Softening the face. Can you lift the pelvis a little higher? Can you squeeze the glutes a little more? Stay up and hold. Single reverse plank lift. Really working the muscles of the posterior chain here. Exhale, gently release. Well done. From here, we're going to roll down onto our backs. Maybe placing the palms underneath the thighs. Lowering down one vertebra at a time. Keeping the knees bent facing skywards. Bringing the heels closer to the sits bones. We will set up for Setubanda Sarvangasana, bridge lift, grounding down through the heels, heeling the hips, the lower back, the mid back off the floor, raising the hips, lowering down with control, one vertebra at a time. And again, squeezing the glutes, the inner thighs at the top, lowering down with control. One more single bridge lift, and we'll keep the hips up and pulse for 3, 2, 1. Stay up and hold, squeezing those glutes, raising the hips a little more, rounding down through the palms for support. Working on finding a lovely linear angle from the tops of the knees to the shoulders. And from here, we'll place our palms underneath the sacral region of our spine, supporting our hips, grounding down through the left leg, flexing the right knee, drawing it towards the chest, and extending that right leg skywards. Pointing the foot, pointing the toes, squaring the hips, raising them a little higher, really activating the hamstring, the glutes in the left leg, And lower down with control, keeping the hips raised. We'll get set up to go on the other side, drawing the left knee into the chest and extending that left leg, pointing the toes. One breath here, engaging the right hamstrings, the glutes. And with control, bending that left knee and lowering the leg down, rolling down one vertebra at a time. You might choose to stay with any of the variations of bridge that we've been practicing, or draw the heels towards the glutes as we set up for Urdhva Dhanurasana, wheel pose. We're going to float the arms up towards the sky, flexing the elbows, placing the palms down on either side of the shoulders, fingertips facing towards the heels, and we'll press up into wheel pose, using the heels to ground down, the palms to help you lift up and out of the pelvis, broaden across the heart space, squeezing the glutes, keeping the legs engaged so that the knees are not splaying out to the side. If it's in your practice, you might like to lower down onto the forearms, being mindful to lift up and out of the shoulder girdle, softening the facial features. Breathe. If you're on your forearms or your shins, you might like to re-extend into a full expression of wheel pose and begin to lower down, rolling down one vertebra at a time, being mindful to keep the whole vertebral column in contact with the surface beneath you, allowing the knees to rest together as you walk the feet towards the edge of the mat, creating space along the lower back. Breathing into any regions where you might be feeling sensation. From here, we'll draw our knees towards the chest, maybe interlacing your fingers around the shins, either finding stillness or movement. You might like to rock side to side slightly, moving the legs in one direction, gently massaging the back. Finding any variations that afford you a state of relaxation and peace. Either staying here or joining us in Ananda Balasana, happy baby, perhaps grabbing the outer edges of the feet or using the peace fingers and the thumbs to grab a hold of the big toes, drawing the knees towards the armpits. This is a lovely way to stretch the groin, the inner thighs, perhaps extending one leg out at a time, finding what works for you. If you're in happy baby, we will draw the knees to the chest, squeezing everything together, and we'll interlace our fingers around our right shin, extend our left leg, coming into Pawamukthanasana, wind relieving posture, finding a release for the hip flexors, maybe rolling out the right foot, stretching the ankle, and we'll take a supine spinal twist, guiding the right knee over to the left as we extend our right arm out at shoulder height, gazing over that right shoulder, feeling a lovely release for the lower and the mid back, keeping both shoulders grounded. Breathe. Gently releasing from the twist, drawing the knees to the chest, and we'll get set up to go on the other side, interlacing the fingers around the left shin, extending the right leg, keeping the right toes and kneecap pointed skywards, maybe finding some ankle rotations with the left foot. And when you're ready, we will come into the spinal twist, guiding the left knee over to the right, extending the left arm out, rolling the head to the left, maybe gazing over the fingertips or closing the eyes, letting go. One more breath in this posture. And gently releasing, drawing the knees to the chest, maybe drawing the nose to the knees. And we'll extend into Shavasana, final relaxation, corpse pose. Allow yourself to surrender to this posture, to the mat. Feel yourself connected to the earth beneath you, recognizing that you are supported, you are loved. Allowing yourself to reconnect with the breath. Tuning into the manifestations of the inhalations and the exhalations. Finding a state of ease. If you observe any regions of the body that feel particularly sensitive, mindfully guide your breath there. Offer yourself loving compassion. Staying here for as long as you like. When you're ready, we will roll over into fetal position, keeping the eyes closed. We'll work our way up to a seated position, legs across, roll the shoulders back and down. Find length along the back of the neck. Perhaps reminding yourself of the intention that you set at the beginning of class. Again, acknowledging your efforts for showing up here today. When you're ready, we'll join our palms together at the third eye center, the Ajna chakra between the brows, and mindfully lowering the palms to the heart. Acknowledging the light and the teacher in you, and the light and the teacher in all of us. We'll take 3 cleansing breaths to close practice. Slowly inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling through the mouth. Thank you all so much for joining this practice. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.